inspires you to be good? Who makes you feel great? For me, that's Grandma Sarah. Now, let me just tell you a little bit about Grandma Sarah. She is 99 and a half years old. And for the last 40 plus years of my life, she has been my hero. She's the person I call when I'm in a great mood. She's also the person I call when I'm not in a great mood, because I know she'll make me feel better. She's the person who I most want to hear say, "I'm proud of you." She makes me be good. So years ago, as you know, I lost my brother. And one of the first things my grandmother said to me as we were kind of all sorting through our mourning period was, "You now have a new responsibility. You have to take care of Jack. Yes, he lives 1,500 miles away. And yes, you are only his uncle, but he needs a man in his life." And so I said I was going to do that. And for that first year, I was up seeing him probably once or twice a month, and then regularly spent time with him. Went to all of his band concerts and choral concerts, and when he started doing shows, I wasn't going to miss it. Because Grandma taught me that a good leader is somebody who is nurturing and caring and inspiring people to be good. Whether that person is a 10, 12, 14, 16-year-old boy, as some of you are working with junior high kids, or somebody that you may be working with in your office, or somebody that you may actually be frustrated that you're working for. You still have to inspire and nurture them. So I got to see all of Jack's programs. Well, one of the things that I do in some of my workshops is I ask people to figure out who their Grandma Sarah is. Who is that person that brings them joy? Who is that person that makes them be good and feel great? Well, a couple of years ago, for the first time, instead of me getting to see Jack do his thing, he came to see me do mine. He actually was in the audience for one of my programs. And I was going around the audience and having people share who their Grandma Sarah is. And one person stood up and said, "Well, my Grandma Sarah is my wife, Joanne, and she makes me feel great, and she gives me that inspiration." And somebody else said, "Oh, it's my son, George." And people were going around the room, and then Jack raised his hand. And he stood up and he said, "My Grandma Sarah is my Uncle Gary." So for the first time in front of an audience, I'm crying. Because I now know, not only am I doing what Grandma asked me to do, am I being the leader I'm supposed to be, but that Jack knows it. That I'm having that influence on him that I really wanted to have, and that I know I'm having on a regular basis. So who's your Grandma Sarah? Who's that person that makes you feel like everything you do is right, and that is always proud of you? I ask you to do one thing. Figure out who that is, thank them, even if they're not here anymore, and continue to be inspired by them. And now, I have to go home and call Grandma Sarah.